Elisabeth Braw joins me, Senior Fellow at the Atlantic Council and Foreign Policy columnist. Elisabeth, thank you for joining me. When we read that the United Nations Special Coordinator for Lebanon is saying that the region is on the brink of imminent catastrophe, does that sound right to you?
It does. I shouldn't smile. It does, and it is an extremely perilous situation. And I think what's even more perilous is that it's unclear who, if anybody, can intervene to help the region escalate from this brink of catastrophe. There is no immediate mediator in sight, especially since the US, despite trying very hard, hasn't succeeded in preventing this situation from coming to pass.
Well, Hezbollah has launched dozens of missiles at an airbase in northern Israel. Israel's military says its jets targeted hundreds of Hezbollah sites and that it launched airstrikes on hundreds of targets in southern Lebanon. Do you think that we are heading towards a real conflagration and a direct confrontation now between Israel and Hezbollah, in which the Israeli government's objective is to eradicate Hezbollah?
Well, what we are seeing is lots of different fires burning in different places. So we obviously have the Gaza War, now we have Lebanon, and we have the Red Sea situation, which is also, in a sense, linked to this, because the Houthis are saying that they are targeting Western ships in the Red Sea in solidarity with the people of Gaza. I think that's just a cynical ploy, but nevertheless, that's what they say, and they will keep going. So we have all these different crises escalating at the same time, and it's completely unclear who can do anything about it. It's not going to be the United Nations, because the United Nations has been weakened by major powers essentially refusing or declining to heed the United Nations recommendations and decisions, and there is no other body that can do anything. What we are seeing are countries in the region, Qatar, the UAE, and Saudi Arabia, and so forth, wanting to play a role and partially playing a role, but it's not clear what they can achieve because we haven't really seen any results from that so far, apart from the release of some hostages that had been negotiated, for example, through the offices of Egypt and Qatar. But this demonstrates the world we live in now, where the United States and indeed the United Nations don't have the power they used to have.
What is the sentiment in the corridors of power in Washington? You speak to these people regularly. Antony Blinken, of course, been in the region recently with David Lammy, the UK Foreign Secretary. Is there any hope in the corridors of power in Washington that some resolution can be brought to what is increasingly disturbing as a situation?
That hope seems to have vanished. So we have seen, as you said, Antony Blinken travel to the region numerous times since this war began in the first place, the Israel-Gaza war. And we have also seen lots of State Department officials applying their not inconsiderable skills and intelligence to making a peace deal happen. And now they have just acknowledged that it's unlikely to happen while Joe Biden is still in office. And what happens after he leaves office is, of course, completely up in the air. If Trump wins, we'll have a one policy that will be very different. And if Kamala Harris wins, we're not really sure what she will stand for. But the peace deal that the Biden administration had been pursuing so energetically is unlikely to happen.